time, and I have no doubt that you will be whatever you decide to be, whether it's Supreme Court Justice, President of the University, you will get there. Let me thank everybody for being here. This is a very exciting time. It is interesting that there are still people talking about our President of the Student Government who worked with Provost last year in that special national project. And Katie is here. I don't know if Katie's getting accolades from folks from Columbia University because of her work more recently, quite frankly. I hope all of you have looked on the homepage at the story about Christopher DePompeo. The fact that he graduated from UMBC in economics and philosophy and went on to the University of Pennsylvania, was #1 editor-in-chief of the Law Review at Penn, and is now the clerk for the Chief Justice of the Supreme Court. Doesn't just happen. What's really nice is that Christopher has said he got a superb education at UMBC. What is so significant about today is that it speaks volumes about the values of our campus. Friday, I had the experience of working with 15 of the leading liberal arts colleges in the country who want to understand the UMBC experience and leadership as we do it here. And it was very interesting. This was from Williams to Wellesley to Wesleyan. These are provosts and presidents. And in the middle of the day, we're doing this at Columbia Law School. And it's a great day. And in the middle of the day, I had just said something about the value of the humanities at UMBC, because they were saying, well, you're good in science, Freeman, but we have these other areas. I said, no. We send the best of students to doctoral programs in law school. So we go outside, and by chance, 4 or 5 of the guys are in the restroom, and all of a sudden, this guy says, Dr. Hrabowski. And I look around, and it's somebody I know, a UMBC student, whose name is Joe. I didn't remember his last name. Turns out his last name is Joe Howley. Graduated here about 6 years ago, and he tells this great story of graduating from UMBC, going to St. Andrews, finishing his PhD in the classics, and he's there because he is now an assistant professor at Columbia University. Turns out he's the only faculty member hired in recent times who is not from one of the Ivies. Well, of course, the presidents of these university colleges said, Freeman, how much did you pay this guy to lie like this? How does this happen? I said, listen, this is too good to be true, right? I said, I will tell this story every day for the next year, I promise. But the fact is, he wrote me, and we'll be sending this letter out, that he said, and what he said was the quality of teaching and learning here is so high that he was superbly prepared to go to the top at St. Andrews. Interestingly enough, his wife, a UMBC graduate, is finishing her PhD right now at Cambridge in England. And so the point I'm making to you as students is when you do well here, you can perform superbly from Georgetown to Harvard and Penn to St. Andrews and Cambridge. And a part of that has to do with this collaborative spirit. There were certain words used today: shared governance, community, use of technology, collaboration, innovation, a wonderful, amazing learning resources center that we have, the way we use technology in the work, the library, and Larry. Give Larry Will a hand, would you please, this little bit? And what we have here fits well with what we have in other parts of the campus. We're always going around the Castle and Chemistry Discovery Center, what they're doing in psychology, and we'll continue to build this network. But I finally want to thank the students. Let me say this, that we always say that a university is far more than the buildings. It's wonderful to see the facilities going on. But the heart of the university will be the people. It will be the quality of the faculty and staff and their support, and then the students themselves. When 60 Minutes was here this past week, I brought them by this building. By the way, I have to figure out how to get in. I still don't have a card I need to get in or something. But I'm being truthful. I had to beg to get in. But the fact is, but here's the point I want you to know. When I explained to them that our students were the ones who really wanted this, Byron Pitts, the correspondent, said, come on, Freeman, you're just being presidential, meaning kind of inflating, right? So we walked back that way, and a student is explaining why this is important and how he had learned that what about the parties all around. And he said something that was so significant, a line I'll never forget. He said, I can really say that the real party at UMBC is in the library. Oh. Is that powerful? Give me my hand for that. And so now that you can have food and drinking there, you really can study and in your own way have that party of the mind at the same time. it reminds me finally of those words. When you hear folks from LRC who were in the halls and upstate retirees here and in the basement, that they were thinking certain ways about some of the issues and dreaming, and then they started talking about it, right? Their actions said we deserve more, and more you saw the character of the place, the life of the values, and so it really is true that thoughts become words, words become actions, actions become habits, habits become character, the character becomes the destiny. This is our destiny. Thank you all very much.
Let's cut the ribbon.